going on. So Greg is also here.
How you doing, guys?
Hello, Greg. Good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Good morning. So, how's health and everything? John just said that you're stuck in a snowstorm.
Yeah, a little bit of a snowstorm.
I hope both of you are safe.
Yeah, well, these days we're all working from home anyway, so I don't
Okay.
know about you, John, but it didn't make any difference to me as long as the power doesn't go out.
See, I'm really happy that we have John today in the meeting.
Yeah, me too, of course. He's been a
Perfect.
lifesaver in so many ways.
So, Greg, in fact, in fact, the last week I had a discussion with the team regarding. So, if you remember, we spoke about the 500 error, and they tried their best, and I hope the message is already conveyed to you in the day before yesterday's meeting.
Yeah, I'm just sorry that we wasted 2 days doing that.
That's completely fine. So I have asked the finance team not to bill for it. So they've sent me 2 days of effort for it. So I asked them not to bill for it. So that's completely fine. It's okay. It's part and parcel of all these.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that to be not useful, right? So from our side, that's completely fine. We completely understand.
Good. Yeah. When it's an outside, it's one thing when we blow something, but when a vendor changes the way they do business, it's a whole different story. And I understand. Obviously you want security, and that's why they did it. It's just
correct.
Correct. You can't have like the legacy stuff keep working.
Correct. So you see, we understand. Greg, in fact, in the last meeting, you were talking about one of your e-commerce portal and the troubles that you're facing because of that. Was it still there? Do you think we should address it?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So I remember in the last meeting you were discussing about an e-commerce portal that you're running, and you have some troubles with that. Using Shopify and all. So do you think I should address that issue?
Yeah, it's a good question. Shopify is one of the top couple of e-commerce providers, and they do a great job, and they connect with everybody. So at this point, I would say that we should just stay on course. We don't have too many products in, so that we can change whenever we want. But their connections with Amazon and even Alibaba and Etsy and eBay are really good, and the system looks like it's really nice. So they even have ways to upload a whole Excel spreadsheet of products. So it seems to be okay. I can't complain too much right now, but we just need somebody to sit down and start working on it on a day-to-day basis. That's all. You have a suggestion?
No, I was just wondering if there is anything that we can help with, because we have a few Shopify developers in-house. So maybe if there is something that you need, a support on, we have that to give you. So I just thought of letting this note to you.
Thank you. I at this point, I would rather concentrate on the stuff that we need to concentrate on.
Perfect. So that's completely fine.
Yeah, I don't want to see us wasting effort on something that duplicating something we have already. I'd rather see us push forward on this really cool stuff that we're doing.
No problem. I just wanted to keep you informed about this, that we know, and we know that there is something happening at that end, and we are here to support you if there is a need. Just to keep you posted.
Thank you.
Perfect. So, Greg, can we talk about regarding the second invoice? Was it okay?
Yeah, definitely. I think we there have been
in fact we discussed. We decided to discuss it on Tuesday, but then I thought let the Wednesday meeting happen for you, and then we'll have a call. Yeah, because we had that 500 issue on board at that point in time. So I thought first we'll resolve that and then we'll come to the invoice. So that's the reason I didn't disturb you on Tuesday.
No, I appreciate it. That's no problem. Yeah. And it's good that John's on this call too, because I think that we need to, I mean, he's really great at this kind of stuff, at managing
Perfect.
this kind of stuff. So, he knows as well as I where we are. We've got, 3 products. 2 of them got slimmed down because we're doing the client side of the AT and the FT apps on UB Sports. And that's
Correct.
the stuff we have built already. And on the other side, we really haven't approached the recruitment app. So we still, there's a lot of development yet to work on that, with wireframes and that kind of stuff. So, right, there's a juggling as far as what we can expect, getting to those milestones we're talking about.
Correct.
John, you
See,
with that?
again, so I'm not, pushing you for the second payment. I'm just, stating this fact that though, there is a bit of a time lag on the other 2 apps.
There is, yeah.
The first two are moving pretty faster than what we expected. So don't you think, it is, overall, when we look at it, we are at a stage where in which we should be right now. So that's my question.
John, what's your feeling on that?
On what? I didn't hear your question. There was some crosstalk.
Oh, sorry. The issue was, we're just talking about the second payment, and it looks like there's, the way we had planned it is that all the apps and the site, we're going to be done with wireframes and workflows and everything, and that would be the time for the second payment. But we haven't even really scratched the surface on the recruiting app, and the AT and FT apps have been slimmed down because the client sides have been pushed off to the site, to the UB Sports app itself. So what do you think we should do about that as far as making sure that we're doing the right thing on payments? We split up that second payment, or what's your feeling on that?
Well, for the trainer apps, the amount of effort that it takes based on the functionality and requirements hasn't changed, other than we've moved functionality and requirements into a different app.
Right, to UB Sports. Yeah.
So, the scope of work really for the trainer apps, it changed a little bit, but
Right.
really only because we've moved things from one app to another. So you still have to design those screens.
Correct.
There's a little bit extra effort involved because you have to now integrate stuff into the UB Sports app that you thought was going to be segregated into the trainer app. So there are some subtle changes there, but the
Correct.
scope of
Correct.
work I don't think has necessarily changed.
Mhm.
So that's kind of my thought on that piece. As far as the wireframes and the designs, we as a team have been relatively satisfied. You have much more of a handle, Greg, on what you want them to look like, and you've seemed to
Mhm.
indicate you're satisfied.
Yeah, I've been
with that
really happy
step.
with what it looks like.
I don't know, I haven't really seen the contractual end of the agreement as far as what exactly you were doing, but everything that we've expected to this point, has been met. I think if things have fallen off of the timeline or shifted a bit, that's mostly been because of our indecisiveness about certain things. We would have to either check with our team or think about a new issue that we didn't think of before. So, to answer your question, I'm kind of satisfied with where we were.
What about the recruitment
I
app? What
don't
do you
see
think
that
about
any.
that?
Well, as far as I know from the recruitment app, we haven't really started that, but in all honesty, we
Correct.
haven't had time to do that. I didn't think the recruitment app was really part of the original scope or affected the original estimate or anything anyway. So that's kind of a surprise to me.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts on it.
Okay.
I also don't specifically regarding the recruitment app. I don't think we're anywhere close to really starting to spec that out. So if that was part of the contractual agreement necessary for payment, I think you and iLeaf need to kind of discuss whether that should be dropped from the original scope, because we're still trying to get our head around that whole profile and the data, the statistical data and things like that. That's going to take us a little while to get through. So if you're trying to pin the recruiting app into the timelines that we have for UB Sports, as well as the 2 trainer apps, I think they're too disjointed.
Okay.
At this point. So they should potentially be segregated somehow. How that affects the payment, I'm not really sure. But those are my thoughts on that.
What I was thinking was on that is that's probably bigger than a third of the work, because it's going to be a sort of involved thing and work and have different workflows from the AT and FT apps, and really be totally different. So what I was thinking was break this payment into 1/3, 2/3, pay the 2/3 for the 2 apps that we are on the way with, and just delay the other third until we get to the point where we have those wireframes and stuff working on the
Wireframe.
website.
See, Greg, in fact, when you discussed this, in fact, in our last conversation, so I was asking for the full payment because I didn't want it to have a conflict with the financial team, finance team in iLeaf, because when it comes to their scope, it's like by January mid or by end of January, this thing should have been ended. So
Yeah.
that's the reason I asked you to see if it is possible if we can make a complete payment. But I completely understand. So let's do it that way, Greg. As you discussed, let's split the payment. It's completely fine with me. So let me talk to the finance team and get it sorted for all of this.
Yeah, just
But
get back to me, work out the exact numbers, and we'll take care of it.
Yeah, but one request is, Greg, can we make the 2/3 payment right now and the 1/3 after the wireframe?
I'll start that process
because
over the weekend for sure.
Pardon?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'll
I
move.
didn't get you.
I don't even know what that number is. I'll have to go look at it. But yeah, that's fine.
Sure. Then let's split it up. Right now, for now, let's do that 2/3 of the payment. That's the second invoice, 2/3, and the 1/3 let it come after. We give you all apps wireframes. So let's keep it that way.
Could you
I'll
please
send you the
send
numbers.
me a regular
I'll send you the new
invoice for that?
invoice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll update the invoice. Forget the old invoice because I'll have to cancel it from my finance team end. So I'll cancel the first invoice I send you, and I'll resend one more invoice, which will be the 2/3 of that amount.
Perfect.
Which we can clear up, probably by this weekend if possible.
Yeah, I'll work on it. That should be fine. You guys have done
The
such a
1/3
great
I'll
job
keep
too,
it
so it's
for
fine.
the wireframes to come.
Okay.
So I hope it satisfy all of us.
Okay, let's the SRS that we have for.
Perfect. See, again, I wasn't pushing for the payment. I just wanted to, make everyone on the same page.
No problem. Yeah, if we can clarify that in the SRS as well, just to make sure that we have those kind of things nailed down, that would be helpful, just for our guys. Yeah, that should be fine.
Greg, the last point that you said, will you please repeat it again? I think I missed it.
We,
no
we
problem.
lost it. We lost you for a second, Greg. We lost you
I'm
for a
sorry.
second. Can you repeat?
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just saying that if we could have that clarified in the contract and the SRS and stuff, that's what's going to be happening. Just so I have
Sure.
records.
That'll be done. That'll be done. Don't worry. So in that scenario, let me give you a signed note saying that the second payment is splitted to two. One is the 2/3 that you'll be paying now, and 1/3 that'll come after the wireframe. I'll update that, and
Thank
we'll
you.
share it with you with the
Yeah,
invoice.
just send me the invoice and I'll pass it on to our guys and we'll take care of it.
That'll be done. That'll be done from our end, Greg. Don't worry.
Great, thank you.
Perfect. So, Greg, one request that I placed the last week, regarding the marketing that you're doing. I hope Jibin had sent you a text for for the marketing stuffs and all those kind of things. Was it helpful?
It was helpful, but I'm going to rearrange it because some of the grammar is wrong for us Americans. So I'll fix that. Make it better.
Sure. No issues. No issues.
I'll send it
Completely
back to you
fine.
when I get done with it.
Oh, why not? Please.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks a lot for that.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think, is there anything else that we have to discuss, Jibin? I hope we are done for today.
We're waiting for KP to join the call. We have some technical we need some technical clarification. So
Yeah.
KP,
So let's
she'll
wait
be
for
joining
Krishna
in
Priya.
a minute.
Sure.
Yes.
Greg and John, in fact, I'll be disconnecting from the call in another 5 to 10 minutes as I have another meeting scheduled for 7 o'clock. I hope you don't mind.
No problem.
Thank you.
And by the way, there are some SEO requirements that we were supposed to take care of. And we'll have that to you over the weekend. At least I'll have my thoughts
Sure.
over the weekend.
Sure. Jivan, is Krishna Priya joining right now? Should I call her up?
Okay, she's joining. She just said she's joining with some network issue from her end. She'll join in a minute.
I'm going to step away for about 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Sure. John, are you at home? John,
He's
hello?
coming back
John
in a
just
couple of
left.
minutes.
Yes.
Sure, no issue.
So,
Take your time, Greg. I hope we have John here.
Yeah, he just stepped away for a few seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Jiban, soon
Yes.
after this call, let's sit and work on that contract so that we can show the document to the finance team and get the invoice corrected as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it. I'm already
Let's
working
do
on
it
it.
together. I'll help you out. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. KP, you there?
We have
Hi.
Krishna Priya here.
Yeah.
Yes. Good evening, KP.
Good evening. And good evening, everyone.
Hi, KP. How are you?
Krishna Priya. Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. Good to hear.
Yes. And you?
Doing quite well. We're in the middle of a snowstorm here, but
Uh-huh.
that's just what happens here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's raining here too.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, as per the last meeting, we had a discussion that as per the last discussion, we'll see what are the changes that would come in the first phase of the application. And we have actually made it down, we have written it down into a change request document. And those changes that would bring an impact has been identified and listed. So, did you get a copy of that, Greg, John? Um,
I don't recall seeing that, but I might have missed it.
Jibin, did you share the document with Greg or John? Not yet, right?
Not yet, not from my end.
Oh, okay. I'll do one thing. I'll share a document with you so that you can just review the points. And as per that, we can have a discussion. There are certain points that we need to confirm to, move ahead. So let me do that first, real quick. And then we'll proceed on that. Okay.
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 Now, is that for the for what part? The site or the apps?
It's for the website. So as per the the changes that we have discussed, we have analyzed the process flow document that you have shared. So when we analyze the document, we could see that there are certain changes that comes there in the website. As well as there are changes which comes up in the mobile app too, but mostly the changes that impacts the website and the UB Sports application is the thing that we are discussing today, or what we are taking into consideration, because that is something that is of a we are in the current phase, so let's discuss about this phase and make it clear.
Okay.
So, as per the last discussion, we found that there were points, that if not confirmed, that should be taken up in the current phase itself, or that can be pushed to the other phase. So, we had a discussion with the team, and there were some suggestions that came up with from their end too. So, I would like to communicate those suggestions as well to you.
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm back.
Okay, I've shared the document. I hope you have received it. Probably you'll get a notification by now. It's a Google Doc.
KP, you shared it in the Slack group.
No.
Okay.
I'll share the document here in the chat as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Google is saying that I need to request access.
Yes, because I've shared it to your other ID, which says greg@ubsports.com. So I've
Yeah.
recently added the
Yeah, my
Gmail one
Google
as well.
ID is different. Yes.
Yes, yes. So right now I've shared it to the Google ID as well.
Thank you. There you go.
Okay, cool. So there were 10 changes that were identified and listed down. And from these changes, the only 2 changes we feel like we can, have it, pushed up to this next phase, say the second phase. And that have been mentioned here as CR006 and CR007, the 7 and 8, sorry, 6 and 7, those points. So if you can have a look at the doc first, and then we can have a discussion on that probably then.
CR008. I'm trying to figure out what that means, because the NATA number is going to be something that we have to internally send emails to the National Athletic Trainers Association for approval, to make sure that the trainers are still approved, are still members, or are members of NATA.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
there's
Greg, that's for us to search through the applications. All the applications that will appear in the dashboard. I mean, you're going to have, presumably hundreds or thousands of applications. And you're going to want to be able to search by a trainer's name or their NATA number, or their state or local license number or something like that.
Okay.
So it just allows you to search within your own application database.
So that's going to be just another spot on our database that says a person's approved or not and what their number is. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, when they submit their application, they're giving us that number. So we're saving that number.
Right.
So you're going to want to be able to search. You're going to want to be able to search potentially by that number, because you might have 2 trainers named Greg Burton.
Right. So it'll be the number also when it expires.
I don't know that you would search by expiration date.
No. But I think we should have that on file so that we know when we need to update our database.
Yeah, that's part of the form that we identified.
Cool. KP, what do you want to do about this? The actual payment method. Are you you have your own what is it, Stripe account?
I guess there is a Stripe account for the company. Yes, Jibin, can you confirm that?
About this, I have to again have discussion with Bino.
Yeah, I think we'll have to set up our own Stripe, won't we? I think it would make sense for us to have our own Stripe account so that gets done
Yes,
internally.
that's right.
All right.
And regarding the payment and subscription, so that was the main thing that we discussed. We can only implement a payment method or subscription there in the main UB Sports application only after the completion of the AT and FT apps. Once they are complete, that is when the athletic trainer app is complete, or when the fitness trainer app is complete, then we can enable the subscription or payment platform there in the main application. So that is something that we can actually push to phase 2, because those 2 applications has to come up for this to get enabled, right?
John, what's your feeling on that?
Yeah, the idea, we knew there'd be potential challenges here, but they needed to go through the approval process, number 1. Number
Yes.
2, they needed to subscribe
Mm-hmm.
and have a valid subscription.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that we had discussed, Greg, that they would purchase. Well, there was a question about how you do the subscription given Apple and Google's subscription requirements, whether they required that subscription to be done through their stores for access to the app. The original idea was for us to have the subscriptions be handled through our store. And when they purchase the subscriptions through our store, there would be an indicator in the database, the subscription is valid and expires on it's valid between 2 dates. That would be stored in our database. And therefore, when they go to use the trainer app that they subscribe to, we would be able to see in our database that, number 1, they've been approved as a trainer. And number 2, they have a valid unexpired subscription to one of the apps. That gets us away from having to use the Apple and Google subscription process. I don't know about the legality of doing it that way if there's issues with Apple or Google, but that would be the ultimate desired objective, is to do it that way through our store and just maintain the fact in our database that they have a valid subscription. So that would be the preferred way to handle that. That's my thinking. The store already exists, so to set up a subscription page is, for something is just like purchasing a product, but you're not getting a product, you're getting access to the application.
All right. We'll have to do a little more work on that to clarify that once and for all. So I've got that on my list of things to do. I emailed or I messaged Apple like last week when we were talking about it, and they haven't gotten back to me. So I'll try again today. Okay. So yeah, KP, let's. We'll have to. The answer is yes. We have to do that. We have to clarify that by the time of our next meeting, which is next Wednesday. Did you guys hear me?
Yes, KP just left. I don't know what happened. What happened? She got disconnected. Guys, KP just said like she having power off there, so she won't be able to connect again, I guess. She's coming from a place like she was not well, and she's at home this time, and they're facing some kind of rain there. So there's a power off, and her Wi-Fi is not working. So she just texted me. I'm really sorry. She just left in between.
Don't worry about it. I have to leave in a few seconds anyway, so it's no problem.
Okay, so we'll continue this session on Wednesday.
All right, I'll do my part on talking to Apple and Google about how we go about the in-app purchases.
Perfect. And again, I'm really sorry. Accept my apologies, John and Greg.
No problem.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I see the doc. It looks good. It captures all the requirements that we had specified.
Yes. In case you have
I think we
any
just need
doubts,
to
you can put it as a comment over there, and by the time by Wednesday, we'll come back with an answer for you.
Excellent.
Yeah. The only other thing, Jibin, since I have your attention, I did post a couple of updates on Slack. I did not tag you in the comments, but you might want to review them. One was I provided the Google Analytics information for the developers to include. And I also identified, I was hoping KP, I could say this while KP was on, but we also made final decisions regarding the fonts, the typefaces that we want to use in the site and the apps. So if you just want to make sure that your team reviews that information and gets back to us with questions, we can discuss that all on Wednesday as well.
Perfect. I'll do that.
And I as well. We're as far as the logos and the colorways go, I'll have specifics on that, and I'll have a vector design, not just a thing on a sheet. I'll have the actual vector file for you.
Oh, okay, that's great. So yes, I guess that's it for today's call, I guess.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. Thank you, John, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
And both of you stay safe.
You too.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Hey, Greg, can you stay on for a second?
Sure. Do I have to boot Fireflies?
Yeah, disconnect it. Good. Hey, just wanted to find out if you're going to catch up on outstanding invoices today.
Monday. Picking up a check today.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. If you have any other questions, give me a ring. I'm around today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Hey, ciao.